Just like the old days. So mean.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Red Valkyrie Presents On the Road. I'm, of course, Shae the Red in a very empty room with a bunch of boxes. And everybody knows my co-host, Cyborg Valkyrie. How you doing, Cy?
I am doing awesome, and yeah, I know you're doing great. Helping mom move stuff in, moving
Yes.
stuff around my room, going through all my shit.
Yes.
Uh,
By the way,
you
I'm
know,
reorganizing your shit. This is horrible. I don't know what is wrong with you. This organization
putting my
system needs
shorts
help.
on your head, running around.
Yes, all the things.
Yeah.
How's the La Quinta Wi-Fi holding up for you?
Motherfucker, it's a lot better than the connection you were getting driving from Maryland to Virginia. I'll just say that.
Oh, that's just mean. And we are, of course, here with the one and only Mr. Mark Poulton. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I am so thankful because we were supposed to have you last weekend. And as most of you know, I was laying in bed half conscious because I got the flu and it kicked my ass. So I'm very grateful that you were able to shift just a little bit so we could still get you on and while your campaign is still live, because this is a cool one. This is a really cool looking campaign. I'm excited to hear more about it.
Thank you.
All right. Before we do anything too crazy, Cy, are we gonna do this cosplay reveal?
Oh, all right, hold on.
I believe in you. This is an on the road cosplay. It's rough. I'm sorry.
All right, don't do it yet. No matter what you see, don't do it yet.
Okay.
Oh no, that's too long. Fuck it, do it now. Where is it? Where is it? Son of a bitch. That's the wrong drum roll.
Metamorphosis completed, sir.
Shae the Red
Has now become
awesome.
This is the best I got. So this is off of one of the additional books that you're offering, and of course, not the book that we're actually here for.
Nice.
But yeah, it was difficult to try and figure out how I was going to do something when I saw two characters.
Right.
One was a dude and one was a dog. So normally I would have gone for the dog, but as I had to bring a cosplay 5 hours away from home and didn't have a lot of chance to tweak, we had to go with the very easy blonde wig caped girl, and I changed her colors from silver to black because that's what I had. But you know, look, I'm proud of myself. It's the first time we did a cosplay that was fully on the road. Because at least when I cosplayed at Sai's house, there was still like things were set up and there was still a chance to get stuff. Yeah. This is literally like I've been unloading boxes all day and then grabbed something out of a bag and was like, okay, let's do this real quick. So we'll make the next one. If you do Hurley's Heroes 2, we'll make the dog happen. We'll make that a thing. I am committed.
Can confirm she's wearing
Jordan. That's good.
From the waist down.
Look, I did Bazooka Dog. If I did Bazooka Dog, I could do this guy. But for people who don't know, I don't like how that looks. Let's see this. Does that look better?
Try Control Plus it a little.
Yeah, we could try.
It hasn't worked.
Nope.
Kind of.
Nope. That's it. That's as good as it's getting. That's as good as it's getting.
Okay.
But this is what we're here for, which is Hurley's Heroes. All right. So, Mark, tell us a little bit about this, because this is an interesting concept, and you always kind of do this. You always find a character and get a real kind of interesting story behind them, and this one is definitely no different. This is a really cool kind of setup.
Thanks. So Hurley's Heroes is about a man who dedicates his life to helping others after gaining superpowers from a superhero organ donor. It's inspired by a real person, a friend of the family who suffered 2 strokes, had dual organ transplants. He was a truck driver, and after the dual organ transplants, he felt like he was given a second chance at life, and he owed the world a debt. So he dedicated his life to working with special needs children. And we were talking one day, and he was like, he was just joking, like, oh, my story would make a good comic book. And I thought about it, and I was like, you might be onto something. And I just thought the idea of getting superpowers from an organ donor who's a superhero was really interesting and something that's never been done.
Absolutely, yeah. And this is I've heard of people who've tried to do something kind of like this, but it never really seems to hit quite like this one seems to, because this really, like you said, it's motivated by a specific person. A lot of the other times that I've seen these sorts of things, it's been like, well, wounded warriors, like a lot of people lose limbs and stuff.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of a general idea, whereas this is like, no, this is off of a dude I know. Which I think is super cool. And I love seeing the imagery, like him right here where he's jumping out with this like hoverboard, skateboard type thing. Yeah. Because all I can imagine is you probably were like, I could see him doing this though. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, we're gonna have him just jump out of a plane with a hoverboard.
So he's like,
water.
He's around the same age, so he has like a lot of the same likes as me, and he loves like 80s films like Back to the Future, and he's a skateboarder, and he was like, oh, I should have a hoverboard. Well, we just gave him Marty McFly's hoverboard.
I love it. And the only thing that would make it better is if you could actually sell those as part of the campaign.
Yeah. Well, we do have mini ones.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Very nice. So all of you out there who want to get your mini painting on.
But yeah, when I sent the script to the artist, he was like, a hoverboard, like one of those ones you stand on and they roll. I was like, no, like Marty McFly.
No, like a cool one, not like a pretend one. This is awesome. Okay, so he's given back, but like as we're seeing in some of these panels, he's not fighting like normal baddies. Like he's fighting. Mutants.
Yeah, it takes place in the universe with all my other books. So like Sea Dog pops up, which is a creation of mine and my son's. So like that's one of the things I want to have with Hurley's Heroes. Every issue, I want like another hero from my universe to appear. So it's almost like old school Marvel team up where Spider-Man was teaming up with another hero. So in this one, he teams up with Sea Dog. Maybe next volume he teams up with, I don't know, Black Owl or Viking Wolf or someone.
Very cool. Very, very cool. This looks like it's just full of crazy action, and like it's actually just a really, I guess, fun story. But I mean, that's kind of the name of the game at Haunted Pizza. From what I see.
No, that's what I do.
I just do fun stories. That's the whole point. Okay, so this is the other thing that I wanted to talk about, and this is actually where the cosplay makes any sense at all. Because if you're just looking at this, clearly I've done a terrible cosplay. But you're talking about the Universal's initiative. So what is this?
So Hurley's Heroes is a 40-page flip book, but 28 pages are dedicated to Hurley's heroes. You flip the book over, and there's a 12-page preview of Universal's Initiative. Universal's Initiative is a book that around the genesis of Graveyard Shift, around 2010, 2011, John Malin and I were approached by a studio in Mexico to create a whole universe of superheroes. And those we did like between four. It's weird. I thought we did 40 pages, but I just started finding pages that clearly show that we did more. So there might be up to 60 pages of work we've done.
Between 40 and 60 pages.
Yeah.
There's just a lot.
It was over a decade ago. I honestly I can't remember. I keep finding new stuff, but we created these books and they were never released. Crazy enough, they were licensed to a restaurant chain in Mexico that's a superhero themed restaurant. So those characters appear on all their menus. They have life-size statues of those characters in their restaurants.
That's so insane.
So it seemed like this was going to be this big thing.
Where in Mexico? Because we need to take a road trip and see this.
Yeah, I'll send you a link to the restaurants because they have quite a few of them.
Wow.
Wow.
I keep saying I have to post pictures because I do have pictures of like the statues and stuff. But
nice.
Yeah, this seemed like it was going to be a big thing before like Graveyard Shift blew up for us, and it just they never published it for whatever reason. So I've always kept in contact with them, and I finally was like, hey, do you have any plans for this? Because I'll publish it if you guys aren't. And they loved the idea, and because they had been keeping tabs on what I was doing, what John was doing, so I got the rights to publish it. This is just a 12-page preview because I want people to see what it is and get excited for it. But later this year, we're going to release the full first volume.
That is crazy. And you have so many, there's so many characters tied to this that it's just nuts.
Yeah, so there's 3 covers to Hurley's Heroes. There's 2 dedicated to Hurley and Sea Dog, done by the interior artist Fredson Oliveira and Donald DeLay. And then there's a Universal's Initiative cover by John Malin, and that's 2011 John Malin artwork. So it doesn't quite look like his style now. But I thought it'd be cool since it's a flip book. On the backside, let's do covers that connect and form the whole Haunted Pizza universe. So you have those Universal's Initiative characters. You have the U.S. Assassin team, Sea Dog, Viking Wolf, Black Owl. Just a ton of characters all together. It's pretty awesome to see it.
It really is. And it's almost daunting, like when you see all of them together, because, here's the thing. People see you, right, Mark? And they know you do a shit ton of stuff. They know that you're all over the place. You have all kinds of IPs. You're doing a lot. But then people always seem to find an IP that you have that resonates with them, and that's the one that they remember you for. And then they forget everything else that you do.
Right.
And so they're like, "Oh yeah, I really like Sea Dog," and you're like, "Oh yeah, I really liked Viking Wolf," and he's like, "What? What are you talking about? It's not the same person." It's like, no, it is though. It's the same creative team, same studio, and it's like, okay, cool. So it's like seeing all of it like this, because we've had you on for almost every IP that you have, and every time we have you on, I'm always like, entirely new cast of characters, and it's like you're incapable of doing a character. Like Hurley's Heroes is probably the closest that you're getting to be like a character,
right?
But it's a character who's matching up with all the other characters that we've created. So it's probably the closest, but you really do the team up well. And so when you see this kind of a cover and it's just sprawled out, these are all the characters that we have. This is what we do. It's overwhelming. I can't believe that you have this much going on all the time.
Yeah, I mean the book that created my love for comic books was G.I. Joe, and they had a cast of hundreds. So
yeah,
big cast never intimidated me. That's what got me into comic books.
Oh, that's so cool. It's so awesome to see. All right, so we've got, in true Haunted Pizza fashion, you've got the minifigs for your first 100 backers, right?
So I did it different this time because these guys aren't cheap. So I did it for the first 100 backers of the featured tier. Not as popular, so lesson learned. But they'll sell on conventions and stuff. But yeah, they're available. The featured tier is a deal, though. All 3 covers plus an original sketch from me. So I think it's definitely worth your money.
Very, very cool. And then you're extending from today for like another 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, just
campaign?
2 weeks. Yeah, I have so much going on this year, so got to keep the campaigns a little shorter, I think.
Right. And so, is this going to go in demand, or is it going to?
It'll go. Yeah, like I do with most of my books, it'll go in demand until I'm starting to fulfill, and then I'm going to shut down the store and then move all the overstock to my website. I opened my website maybe a few months ago, and I've been really pleased with the support for the online store.
That is awesome. That is it's always nice opening up those, like I like seeing creators having their own storefronts, because you guys do end up with excess. Like, even if you're like, I'm only buying what people have backed, you always have to go plus an extra 10% just in case something gets damaged. Yeah. And then, of course, because you prepared for it, nothing happens. You end up with 10% extra, and you're like, well, I don't know what to do with this stuff now. Like, I just have it. So I'm excited that more creators are getting their storefronts like up and in order, so they can sell off some of that excess, and especially for people who are hitting budgetary issues like this one right here. It's also really nice. It's like, okay, I still have a chance to get this stuff, even if I can't get it like right away, guaranteed. There's still a hope that I can get it at some point. All right. Scroll down a little more. So you're also offering your Sea Dog and Kill Switch.
Yeah, volumes 1 and 2, since Sea Dog's the guest star in this issue. I've been really surprised. Like I offer a lot of times, I'll offer my back catalog of books in my campaigns, and it seems like Sea Dog and Codename Kill Switch are always like the most popular books offered, which I'm surprised, because they weren't the most popular campaigns, but I guess people are, like you said, are just discovering them as they say, oh, he did that book too, what are you talking about? So
yeah. Like I feel it's so funny, because I feel like people are like, oh yeah, have you heard of Mark Poulton? I was like, yeah, just a little bit. Like, and it's nice though, because it's nice to see that you have so much you have so many varying IPs and so many varying storylines that you don't need a bigger look. But you have so many storylines that it's hitting so many different people's tastes, and then that, sparks them to go back and be like, well, what else has he done? And it's like, oh, there's a huge library that you can go through. Yeah. Don't worry, there's enough. All right, and then you have. See, this is where you're killing me, because there's a Sea Dog Slam Buddy, and clearly I have a Slam Buddy collection going on at this point. I'm gonna need that. But you got the acrylic
he's
pins.
Sold out right now.
No.
Yeah. Mark! I'll have to get more in, but as of now, he's sold out.
That is horrible. I'm gonna stab somebody for that. All right, so the acrylic pin set, is this still something that people can get?
Yeah. Yep. So 6 a.m. artwork and acrylic pins. I thought something different than seeing 6's artwork on stickers. So I want to do something different.
Absolutely. And I do like these acrylic pins. I like that you have the rubber backing too. If you've ever put these on hats,
yeah,
the rubber clamps are so much better than the metal ones. The metal ones are gonna kill you. Look at Amanda's losing her mind because all of my hair has disappeared. It's the magic of cosplay and many hairnets. So I'm just gonna stare at the Slam Buddy that I can't get right now. He is awesome.
You can look at a real one.
I want to look at a real one. Let me see. Yes. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Mark, we're gonna have to.
I'll get
to work out a deal.
Yeah.
He's so freaking cute. Oh my gosh, I love it.
Do you have
Hold on.
Slam Buddies on layaway?
Right? Like, I'm just gonna start a layaway plan with all creators who have Slam Buddies and be like, I'll pay you $5 a month until you fulfill, and then you give me a Slam Buddy. No, these are awesome, and it's so funny because I remember growing up with other people having them. That was never anything that I got. That was always like my friends had the Slam Buddies. I could never justify it to my mom because I could never figure out how to get her to be like, I would like a doll that I could beat the shit out of. And she's like, I don't understand why I would get that for you. I'm like, that's fair. I don't really know how to sell you on childhood aggression. But I always wanted one. And now as an adult, I'm like, okay, I get it, because I've had one or two frustrating days, and just being able to hold them by their little feet, smack them on a desk, you're like, oh, so satisfying. Plus they're all like, I don't know. I like how they're all just walking around like little chest puffed out and everything. Okay. So you have a Haunted Pizza calendar.
2024, so you'll get it in plenty of time.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so this just goes through the whole Haunted Pizza catalog?
Yep.
Out of curiosity, is it any artwork that we haven't already seen on campaigns, or is it all stuff that's...
So like I have some like upcoming covers that eventually they'll be published, but I'm going to put them in this calendar because like I've been sitting on a Kenneth Roquefort Viking Wolf cover for so long.
Are you serious?
Like, yeah, it's just like my Viking Wolf artist is having some issues, so we're not ready to roll on Viking Wolf 2. So I want to publish this artwork.
Right, absolutely. Oh man, and Kenneth is just so freaking talented. Oh, every time I see him do any characters that he does, they all just have a new elevated status after he does some kind of cover with them. It's insane. Okay, so your stretch goals. Let's go over these real quick.
So, the Hurl and Hurley's Garbage Pail Kids inspired trading card.
Oh my gosh, this is so terrible.
He's throwing up his organs that were donated to him.
Oh, that makes it even worse.
That looks so authentic, though.
I mean, it does. It looks real nasty. Like that's unsettling. All right, we're just gonna slide past that.
And then the next one that we're going to unlock soon, $7,000. Everyone gets a Never Give Up the Fight 5-inch die cut sticker. That's it's part of the book. That's the tattoo he has across his chest, and inspired by the real life Hurley too, who has that tattoo that he got like after his organ transplants.
So does he have it across his chest too? Oh, that is so cool. Good for him, man. It's so inspiring to see people who've been through that kind of stuff and then are like, yeah, I'm just gonna wear it for everyone to see. Like, it's Jason. It would be equivalent to like if you I guess got an eye tattooed somewhere, or a bunch of livers tattooed on you. And then of course the risks and worries are non-existent, really. Let's be real.
No, the book's done. We're going to print real soon once the campaign's over. So yeah.
Hell yeah, that is awesome. Okay, so let's go over your tiers. I know you talked a little bit about it, but let's talk about the featured tier a little bit more.
Sure. Featured tier comes with all 3 covers. That's the Fredson Oliveira cover, which is a homage to the Superman Spider-Man team up between Marvel and DC from the 70s, the Donald DeLay cover, and then the John Malin Universal's Initiative cover. You flip them over, it's the 3 connecting covers of the Haunted Pizza universe. Also comes with a sketch of Hurley from me, and it comes with the the minifigure and little mini hoverboard on stand.
That is awesome. And I do very much love his little hoverboard that he's holding. I think it's awesome. Okay. And then
all the covers are available individually for $25. The Fredson cover, the Donald DeLay cover, and the John Malin cover.
Very cool.
And then if you just want the ones involving Hurley and Sea Dog, $50. That's the Fredson and Donald DeLay covers. Or all three to form if you're going to get two, you might as well get three so you can form the triple connecting covers on the back. That's $75.
That is so cool. And you do a lot of those connecting covers and stuff I've noticed with a lot of your campaigns, and they always turn out so fucking epic. Like sometimes when people do those connecting covers, they have that weird line where you're like, well, I had to cut a character in half down directly across his nose and it looks a little weird, or you're only getting like an elbow of a dude and it's very awkward on its own.
The printing is slightly off and it's like you have 2/3 of a nose instead of a whole nose.
Exactly. Yeah. You try to like piece them together and you're like, I guess that's supposed to be Sea Dog, kind of, if I squint. But you always make sure you get artists who just love doing this. And so they always piece it together really carefully, make sure that it looks really fantastic. And I mean, obviously, you have very high standards for people to meet. So,
yeah, the triple connecting covers were drawn by Chris Graves, who we're doing a book Writhe in Pain later this year, and he's amazing. He was showing me layouts, and we made sure that like no one gets cut in half on these covers. So
thank you. I appreciate that, because there's a lot of people who just are like, well, I have this big piece and I didn't know what to do with it, so I thought I would make it like a wraparound or something. You're like, you gotta be careful because there's plenty of times you can make it look really terrible if you don't do it right. So gosh, you know what, Mark, I love hate when we have you on, because we talk about everything so fast and we get so excited, and then I look up and like I feel like we have so much more time that we should be filling with more epicness.
Well, I mean, I can tell you more about the Universal's initiative. So like trying to like publish a book that is over a decade since we worked on it. There's been some challenges. All the files that the studio had were on a hard drive that they have not been able to get the files off, but I had the low res files. So I talked to John about this. First I asked him to see if he still had any of the high res files, and he didn't. And we were talking, and he was like, "Oh, it's my older work. It's not that detailed. Maybe bring on, an established artist to do finishes over my pencils to give it a little more detail." So Chris Graves, who did those triple connecting covers and who I'm doing Writhe in Pain, I asked him if he would be interested in doing finishes over John's artwork, and he jumped at the opportunity. So the black and white pages below this cover are some of the Malin Graves artwork, and he's been sharing the other work online, and it looks fantastic. There were high res files, but they were colored, and I just didn't think the colors were up to my standards. So I wanted to recreate high res black and white files so I could get the colors that I wanted on the project.
Absolutely. Well, and there's, like we were talking about the team ups, you have such a variety of characters, and I love it because nobody feels like they're tokenized. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you don't have a character just so you can be like, oh, and look, there's a girl.
Right.
And, oh, look, there's, there's a black guy, and like they're just characters that happen to be badass, and they may be, of one kind or another, but you have so much just natural variety across all of them. It's so cool to see like this. I don't know who she is, but this girl that's off on the right that looks super vixeny.
Yeah.
I don't know who she is, but she caught my eye first, and that was the first one that I was like, maybe I could do that. And then I think I saw her in others, and she looks like she has like purpley gray skin. I was like, Yeah, I'm not taking body paint to Virginia, but she just looks so cool. And then you have this classic, pretty blonde character, and then you have this super badass, like, don't take no shit with dreads,
Yeah.
and that's just the females. Like, that doesn't even hit into the guys, how you got one who looks gruff and one who looks pretty boy and one who looks, super yoked out and like whatever.
Yeah, well, this was John back in 2011, designing characters, and it was around the same time he was designing Graveyard Shift, and they all have their own unique look. So yeah, he's great at that.
Well, and it's
like, I love the armor on that guy who we just passed, but incredible detail.
Oh yeah, and I can't imagine having to draw that repeatedly. Yeah. Like, if I feel like that would drive me insane.
Yeah.
But this is nuts, because this is like getting, kind of almost classic Poulton ideas, but then getting it's like getting a revamp of something that nobody ever got to see to begin with.
Yeah, no, it's like, I always want to see like the work I've done over the years published, and this was sort of like the lost project, and I'm finally getting to publish it. So this is awesome.
That's super cool. So when are you looking to have like the full book out?
Later this year. So after Hurley's Heroes, I'm launching Coney Waves in March, and then Chris and I are going to do Writhe in Pain, I think, in June. So probably like maybe August, September, Universal's initiative. And then we'll end the year with U.S. Assassin with Mike. That should give him plenty of time now with his added fifth child responsibilities.
Yeah, his extra mouth to feed. Yeah, oh my gosh, I can't. But I mean, tell me that baby isn't adorable.
Oh, adorable, yeah.
So every now and then he'll just be like, "Oh, the baby," and I'm like, "Oh, that's okay." All is forgiven, Mike. You disappear as long as you need to with that little one. All right, so I don't want to rap. Like, I want to riff or something, because we've covered everything for the campaign.
Yeah.
I'm not breakdancing. Damn it. Nobody wants to see that, me included. But if Mark wants to,
I don't want to breakdance, but I will tell you this. Hurley's Heroes is currently in development as a live action motion picture.
Oh, that's so cool.
I started out my career in comics with my book Coney Waves, and it was published by a publisher in Canada, Arcana Studio. At the time, they were Canada's largest comic book publisher. And after a couple years doing Coney Waves with them, I was asked to be the vice president of production there. So I've always had a good relationship with the owner. As my writing career took off, I stopped working for him. We've remained friends. He sort of got out of comics and opened up an animation studio in Vancouver, and he started producing animated films. And then that led to him writing, directing, producing live action films. He just did a movie for the streaming service Tubi called Corrective Measures. It starred Bruce Willis and Michael Rooker. And he's kept up with what I was doing. He was really impressed and wanted to know if there's a way we could work together on something. And I was just telling him some of the ideas of my projects, and he really loved the idea of Hurley's Heroes. So we're developing that now. We're going to take the finished comic book, write a screenplay, and try to get a star attached to it and try to get it made.
That is so cool. And that was one of my first kind of loves, was video production.
Yeah.
Side of things. And so it's so cool to see people who are, working on all of these IPs, like, because anytime somebody sees you as an indie, comic writer or indie comic artist, people always have this kind of like level that they think that of influence that you have, and then you start talking to people like Mark, and it's like, oh yeah, by the way, we're making this into a movie. Or you talk to Adam, and he's like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm working with Wesley Snipes, and it's like,
yeah,
I'm sorry, I'm over here, I'm just some rando chick who sometimes cosplays and is a super nerd for freaking comic books, and I'm like, oh, I have friends who like actually do the shit that I wish I was doing, which is amazing. So this is exciting, and I feel like this would be something that would be really cool to see as a movie.
Yeah, I feel like there's like so much story to tell because when you get the organs of a superhero, do you get all their powers? Do you get some of their powers? If you don't get all of their organs, what happens to the people who gets more organs, the other organs, you know? So there's other people like Hurley out there. Are they good? Are they villains? It's there's a lot of story to tell with it.
Does it come and go? Is it like in spurts? Because it's not you're not a full superhero. You're like, I'm super strong. Oh crap! It just went out. Damn, this is bad timing. Like, that's amazing. So.
Oh no! I pulled that muscle. Oh.
You get like somebody's like leg, and then you're like, oh, I got a Charlie horse. You're like, well, I don't know if is it a super Charlie horse now, or is it like?
You just get one leg, so you run super speeds in circles.
That'd be horrible. So Jason is saying dinosaur. I'm pretty sure that his request is, if you were a dinosaur, what dinosaur would you be and why?
Man,
I know, right?
What a question.
Jason always comes at us with the good ones. If you were a tree, if you were a dinosaur, I think those are his two go-tos.
I mean,
pizza.
I mean, you want to say T-Rex, but then you'd have those little arms, and I wouldn't want that.
No, you don't.
Very intimidating and threatening if you could get your mouth near them. But if it was anything else,
oh my god, that doesn't sound right.
Stop it! You're horrible. And then I'll ask it for Frog G, because I know that if he saw Jason ask the dinosaur question, he would want to know. What is the best pizza topping, and why is it pepperoni?
It's pepperoni. Anything else, I think, on a pizza is, I wouldn't say it's wrong, but it's not right. I mean,
it's far less right.
My son and I made a book called Pizza Tree, and the villain of the pizza tree was a pineapple.
No.
So I don't know. Pepperoni, it's just classic. It adds, I don't know, a certain spice to the pizza that just a plain slice is lacking.
I'm a huge pepperoni and pineapple fan.
Oh no.
Oh my god. Fucking Satan worshiper.
No, it's the sweet and salty. It's really good.
No, the only thing that goes with
I'm
pepperoni
sorry.
is either more pepperoni or onions and green peppers or
no.
Bacon. Bacon will go with pepperoni.
I mean, bacon pretty much goes with everything.
That's true. Bacon is bacon. Like, you can't, please. And you know what? Some person, because you asked, I'll ask. If you were a jelly donut, what flavor of jelly? I don't know exactly where you're going with that question, but we're going to go with what type of jelly?
No, man. Jelly donut's like my least favorite donut.
I agree. Same.
If it doesn't have chocolate frosting on it, I don't want that donut.
Nice.
I don't know.
Yeah, I couldn't.
A chocolate frosted
jelly donut.
Strawberry jelly donut.
I don't know.
No.
Oh, that's not bad. Yeah.
Chocolate and strawberry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some person says the pizza villain used to be anchovies and now it's pineapple.
It's both.
That's exactly how I feel.
They're
Anchovies
sidekicks.
is horrible, but pineapple is acceptable in my in my book. Well, Sai, do you have any other questions for Mark?
I had none to begin with, except Mark, you're awesome. Keep making amazing fucking things.
Thank you.
Yes, and keep us posted when it comes to the movie and everything, because that is super cool and really exciting.
Also,
yeah,
Mike,
if it has a theater release, we'll go see it and stream it.
Oh,
and then before and after.
Later this
not as in pirate it for you.
Later this year, Mike and I are doing U.S. Assassin action figures too. So I've been teasing. I've shared some 3D models on live streams and stuff. But yeah, first wave will be U.S. Assassin, Bazooka Dog, the mercenary, and we added another dog to the team because if we're making models for one dog, we might as well add another dog to get more use out of the model. So Raider, the search and rescue dog, is being added to the team.
Yes, that is amazing.
Yeah.
That is so great. Unhinged basically says a frosted chocolate filled chocolate donut. I feel
chocolate
like
jelly.
So with chocolate jelly. Isn't that just a ganache? Well, Mark,
you
as
take
always,
the stuff that's in a Twinkie and you just add a shitload of chocolate until it turns brown, and then you stuff that in a donut.
That's chocolate Bavarian cream. It's a thing.
We don't like know-it-alls here, so she can just fuck right off. Nope.
Rude.
Nope.
If we don't like know-it-alls, why are you here?
I know, right? I don't tolerate it in others.
Oh, you're terrible. Well, Mark, as always, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. We love having you on, and
my pleasure.
You always have the coolest freaking projects that are so much fun to get to hear more about. And for anyone who hasn't already backed this, I feel like you need to. I feel like it needs to happen. I'm one of those, but I will be backing it very shortly.
Thank you.
Jason has one last question for you. Is bacon okay to put on ice cream?
I never thought of it, but once he said that, I said, I don't think that would taste that bad.
Well, so have you ever had chocolate covered bacon?
No.
Okay. It as you are eating it the whole time, you're like, I have to be going to hell because it can't be okay that this tastes this good. It's really, really good, especially if you get the thick bacon, and get like the thick maple bacon, cook it in the oven, and then after it cools, dip it in chocolate and let it harden. It is so good. So if that is good, I'm sure bacon on ice cream is actually pretty delicious.
Is it crispy bacon, or do you still leave it a little fatty?
It's better if it's crispy.
Aww.
It's better if it's crispy, because if it's a little fatty, then it's chewy, like chewy but greasy and salty chocolate is a little off-putting.
No.
Crispy, bacony chocolate, delicious. We are going to head on out with the Hurley's Hero trailer. Everybody go check this out. It looks amazing. And Mark, thank you so much. We can't wait to have you on for your next projects. Let us know when you've got your start dates, and we'll book you all the way out this year, because that we're going to want you on for every single one. It's not going to matter.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you so much, and we will catch you next time. Bye.
Fuel to the top, got a filled up engine. In my thoughts, obsession. I will not stop, no, I'm never second guessing. I got a God complex. Haters love to hate, but I never feel pressed. Got a lot on my plate, but I never get stressed. I'll take all the pressure like I'm acing this test. Tear it up like I'm Jason. I see the world like it's ready for the taking. I see this place like a game I'm playing. Straight to the bank to collect my payments. No negotiations, it's my way, I was born impatient. And like a damn Freemason, I'll run this nation. They call me a god. 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 I don't know how to stop. I just go till I drop. Whether it's working or shots, give it all that I got. You can watch me work in my element. Anyone in the way is irrelevant. Wanna cross me, cool, not intelligent. Cause I don't forget shit like an elephant. Go ahead and tempt me, put it on the line and you'll come up empty. If I got time, I'm deadly. Never caught off guard, no, I'm always ready.